Welcome back. For those of you that are listening, my cat just jumped off my shoulder. Hey friends, welcome back to Booked and Bonded, live from the realms of books, banter, and best friend chaos. We are your hosts, Lizzie
and Larissa.
So grab a snack and a fun drink, and let's get bonded over Fourth Wing.
Yay, here we go. What you drinking today?
I have it's called Peach and Green, so it's like a peach and cream, or peaches and cream, but like it's green tea and peach tea, and peach.
Is it the one that, did you get that from, what is that place called that we went to right before the wedding? Or is it one of your advent calendar ones?
It's my advent calendar.
So much fun.
It is very, very good. I know I'm a couple days, behind on it, so I have options to pick from.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Having multiple fun things.
It's very good. I love a green tea, and I love peach. So it's probably been my favorite one so far. What about you?
You will not catch me drinking peach drinks. I will throw up. And I love the flavor. I just can't do it anymore.
That is fair. What are you drinking?
I have the Winter Wonderland Alani Nu. I thought it was festive.
Ooh, it is. Is it good? I haven't had it.
It is good. It's kind of cranberry flavored. It's nice.
Did you have the Wicked Apple, or?
Yes.
What was the fall one that was everyone's craved over?
Yeah, the Witch's Brew.
Rich's Brew, that's what it was.
It's caramel apple, yeah. It's not my favorite. I wish it was just apple. Then I would like it. I think the caramel in an energy drink that's carbonated is a little off-putting to my taste.
That's right. Oh, have you seen Lay's made a salted caramel chip?
No, thank you.
When I don't know what to get for a coffee, I get caramel. That's what I get. Mm-hmm. But I tried it. My brother-in-law brought it home, and it was one of those snacks that you ate a couple of them, not because they were good, but because you were so confused. It was instantaneously salted caramel, and then it became potato chips so quickly, and I was I either want one or the other. I need more of the flavor or more of I don't know. It wasn't, Happy I didn't spend my money on it.
Do you have a snack? Talking about food.
I do. I have a bag of Sun Chips.
I love Sun Chips.
I am too.
I have Slim Jims, and my favorite bag popcorn is the Lesser Evil Himalayan pink salt.
Yeah.
It's so good. So I have both of those.
I love it.
Yeah.
I have my cat in the background. He's tucked away right now.
Mickey.
But not Mickey, yeah. Not the one that jumped off my shoulder earlier. It was so rude. We literally started and he had to leave, and I'm like, sir.
Bookish life updates.
Yeah.
Anything that happened?
I finished the most wonderful crime of the year, and now I am reading The Book Club Hotel by Sarah Morgan.
Okay. How's that one going?
Within the first chapter, so not 100% sure. It's about a girl who owns an inn, and there's these three girls that are all different ages that come together every year and have a book club at her inn. And she's just the owner of the inn just dealt with some trauma, and so she's kind of dealing with that, and I think they'll come together and deal with it together. My only concern is that it might be a little bit too emotional for me at this moment in time, but we'll see how it is.
I get that. I finished 107 Days. It was incredible. I absolutely loved it, and now I just started 'Tis the Season for Revenge. I'm 4% in. It's kind of cutesy so far. It's giving Legally Blonde in a different way. Not as much girl boss, but it is very much has a very similar plot.
I like it. Okay, I might switch over not that I can't handle it, just sometimes you don't want to be in that mindset and...
It's not the right time. Yeah. I get that.
Early.
Are we ready?
Can we? Yeah, can we? I got stuff to say.
Let's open the archives.
So we read chapters 8 and 9 and then 9.5 because we read the bonus chapters from Xaden's perspective.
We got 2 books for this episode. I could have just switched over to this one, but it felt wrong. This feels like my podcast book. This one is the special that I only touch if Xaden has his perspective.
Oh, and he had a perspective.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh, gosh. I'm usually so good at notes, and I could not this time. I wrote a lot, because Chapter 8 has a lot of, like, good, like, world building and dragon lore, and Chapter 9 is Violet's perspective, and you get information. And then Chapter 9, Xaden's perspective, I wrote 3 lines and giggled the whole rest of the time.
It's so much fun just starting to see that dynamic take place. I am very ready to talk about it, and then I'm ready to read the next chapters. Oh, but this is episode 5. It's a big deal for us, so we should celebrate a little. Great job, us.
Round of applause. We did.
And is this our first episode of the new year, or is this our last one of this year? I think it's the second episode of the new year. So this will be our first one of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2026. Oh my goodness.
Gosh, craziness. Woo! Welcome to the New Year's. I hope that you have I know, isn't that crazy to say?
We graduated high school 10 years ago.
I need you to shut up. I need you to keep that mouth of yours closed.
Okay! I was like, why does 2026 sound like such a big deal to me? That's why. Oh my goodness.
I don't want to feel old.
We are old, dude. We're so old. So the Chapter 8 epigraph. There is an art to poison not often discussed, and that is timing. Only a master can properly dose and administer for effective onset. One must take into account the mass of the individual as well as the method of delivery. And that's on Effective Uses of Wild and Cultivated Herbs by Captain Lawrence Medina.
My first thought is that this is the book that Mira was like, yeah, you can bring this book. It's like the one book she was late. And then I took away that like timing is very important, and we'll see that throughout the chapters.
That's something you don't think about. Like, when you're thinking about poisoning, you just, like, do it and get it over with and it's done. But it's not. You have to plan.
I think specifically because Violet is not trying to kill anyone. She is just trying to weaken to be able to have an upper gram. She has not killed, and she does not want to kill.
Did you look up anything about Captain Lawrence Medina?
No.
Okay, I did. Because I was like, how often do we get mentions of him? Who is this guy? So I was looking up things about Captain Lawrence Medina, trying to figure out who he was. And there are so many theories online that say this is Violet's dad, which makes no sense to me. And there's also theories that another person we're going to be reading epigraphs from is also his dad, or also her dad, or it's like one or the other. I don't know. I didn't go too deep down the rabbit hole because I'm not buying it. But when I did that, I also came across a video where Rebecca Yarrow says, no, her dad is for sure dead. So I can stop doing this when I'm talking about him being dead. Because I was not convinced.
But if we got from the source, I guess we can trust her.
Except for she might be trying to throw us off.
I don't know if I can trust her because she has killed people that I love. Like,
well, she said she was going
Devin. Daniel.
Who the heck is Devin?
I don't know. Who was the guy that died on the pyramid?
Dylan!
Dylan! Yeah, you know, the guy I love. Dylan!
I did love Dylan at first.
No, I did. He was really cute, and I liked him. I was just trying not to give away, like, a huge spoiler, so I tried to pick a character that was already dead.
Yeah.
But that's fair.
So that's interesting.
But is there any, like, proof, or are people just, like, grasping
I think it's just
at
theories.
straws?
Yeah, I think they're just grasping at straws. I do believe that, I mean, we don't know his name, so I get why people...
We don't know her dad's name.
I'm looking this up. We need to know that right now.
I was like, there's no chance in hell that we don't know his name. I feel like it starts with an A.
Asher. You're right. That was good.
Scribe Brain for the win.
Okay, Asher Sorengale. So we do know his name. So I'm wondering why people are thinking he's writing these epigraphs as different names.
Yeah.
That's something.
If anyone knows, please let us know, because I feel like that might just be really grasping at straws, but maybe there's something that I didn't notice in past or next, like, future chapters.
Like, was he really good at poisons?
Well, we do know of another master of poisons.
That's true.
That's who I thought you were going. So we do know of another master of poisons, and we find out, and actually Xaden's point of view, chapter 9, that Brennan is great at poisons. So I thought you were going to say her brother wrote that and not her dad.
I think it's her dad.
I mean, I don't know when Brennan would be able to actually write it, so that point of view makes sense. And where do you think Brennan would learn that kind of information? Her dad.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, thoughts? Interesting. I love it.
Interesting.
Give me...
All right. Ready for chapter 8?
I think so.
I'm excited to hear your take on things, because I know you were very excited about these chapters. Like, you had some thoughts going on.
I do.
I'm excited.
I got some sticky notes.
I love sticky notes.
Well, I don't have a whiteboard with red tapes or red string, so...
I was so close to doing that. Everything was crossing, my brain was going. I was like, I need something to visually see what's happening in my head, because it was very crisscrossed.
I don't think I'm, like, that tinfoil hat crazy yet.
We'll get there.
So, chapter 8 starts, and it is Violet waking up early in the morning, and she notably gets up earlier, because she is doing kitchen duty nowadays, so now she has to get up earlier, but B, she's used to it because she does scribe, so she wakes up early. I just want to note that she does mention there are several empty beds from several cadets who are no longer with us. Mm-hmm. So, and then she walks out of the big dorm room, and Dane is waiting for her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought this was so cute the first time I read it. Now going back and reading it, I'm over it. I'm so over it.
Well, I mean, you can even read it, and it's like, I think they're still crushing on each other at this point in time. Like, she smiles, she's all giddy when she's seeing him. And
blushing.
They're blushing.
They're breaking rules together, which Dane doesn't do.
This is true. And so, like, it's very much like they could still be in a relationship that kind of, we're in that area of the book. But Dane insists of walking Violet to kitchen duty every single morning. He says, it's the only time I don't have to be your squad leader. But I think, and I think everyone else thinks, it's just because he doesn't think she can handle it or protect herself. So.
And Violet says something so interesting, because she's talking about people who cares about the rules and who's breaking the rules. And she was like, well, except Dane. He cares about every rule. And she's like saying no one else does, but he does for some reason.
He cares. They start walking down the aisle, and a door opens, and Dane immediately pulls her behind. So another point of he's just trying to protect her in this situation. Like, he could be still their friends and wanting to hang out, but, like, I feel like the number one priority is protecting her. Mm-hmm. But it's fine, because it's our girl, Ree.
Oh, yeah.
Ree,
it's not just Ree.
Yeah, Ree and who? Oh, snaps. They finally got together. Good for them. We won.
Finally, it's not been that long. I feel like to create some sort of relationship in our first time seeing it, not that long.
You know, that's true. It's only, like a month? I think so.
We're less than right at the beginning of the chapter, because this chapter flies through time, whereas the other chapters are like, it's the next day.
It's definitely been at least minimum 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we know after she gets hurt, there's 2 weeks until the challenges, and it's the morning of the first challenge. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming there was a week of classes before that, so that's where my logic goes through. Yeah. But Bree and Tara, I don't really have anything else to know other than they start walking. Bree and Tara brings up the conversation of, Dane says, I didn't think I would have to babysit first year sex lives. And then he's like kind of trying to get, well, Violet, do you have any love interests?
Yeah.
And Violet's
like, she's like, why are you asking me this? Yeah.
Before I got here, none of your business. Now, none of your business. And then little thing in her head was like, well, I could make it your business. And I'm like, girl, wait 5 pages and your business will be there. Like, ignore this man.
Uh-huh. She doesn't know that, though.
I know.
I already wrote at this point, why hasn't Dane helped Violet train for challenges? If he's so scared and wants to protect her, why the heck isn't he training her?
It's a good point. Do you think
this is why I was over it?
I think it's because, well, he knows that Ree's training her. Ree has been training her every single night.
Well, Ree's also a first year. He knows more than she does.
I know. So my point was going to be, do you think he thinks training her or working out and stuff could hurt her? But he does know Ree is training her. So why isn't he helping?
I think his priority is to get her out of there, and that's why he's not doing it, but it's still so annoying. Like, if you want to protect her, you need to give her the tools to protect herself. Yeah. Especially because you don't want to break the rules. You have to give her tools she can use on her own.
Yeah, that follow the rules, but still. I was going to say, he wants to protect her, and one of her biggest enemies that we know of right now is Jack effing Barlow. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to note that Violet mentions, one, Dane's advice for Jack is stay the fuck away from him and don't antagonize him. And then she thinks, well, Xaden's answer to Jack is throw a couple daggers at him. And then
Dane says Jack is already responsible for too many names on the death roll. How many do you think he's killed at this point? I assume every challenge. Like,
well, there hasn't been any challenges.
Practice, but they've practiced.
Oh, practices. They've had practice. I'm going to say 9.
Feels
why?
Right.
3 a week.
Yeah, sure, why not? He's capable of anything.
It's ridiculous.
I'm
so mad at Rebecca for bringing him back. Spoilers.
They know at this point. If they're watching, they know.
That's true. And then Dane touches her. He touches her hand and touches her face at different points, but all in the same, like, scene. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, because she thinks of Xaden's, like, Xaden says, just throws daggers at her. And then she thinks, oh, Xaden and his little club. And she's like, I really should tell Dane. And Dane is, like, holding her hand at this point. He was
touching her face.
Touching her face. Even worse! I know it's like cupping faces, but I still truly believe if you're cupping a face, you're doing this. And where are your fingertips?
It says he cradles her face, so whatever that means, he's all over it.
Okay. There is a conversation in the next couple chapters where he talks to the head of the scribe, Markham. And it is after this point, so I'm trying to keep conscious of, like, does he know yet? And is he saying things to people? I'm not saying that it is true or not, but I just want to keep that in the back of my head when I'm reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so interesting knowing what we know, going back and reading it, and like, she's good at hiding it if he does know. Rebecca is.
And I think that's purposeful, and I also think Dane is smart of if he knows, if he just, like, comes out and, like, starts questioning her, it's not going to go over well for him. So I think it's something that I'm trying to, like, read between the lines with him to see if there's any indications of him, like, asking
understanding
questions
or knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
So this will also, if we're paying attention to this will also tell us if being able to see people's recent memory or, like, recent thoughts includes memories that they're thinking of.
Yes, because we had that question of, is it legitimately the recent memories? So would it be of her seeing Rhiannon, because that's a recent memory, or is it a recent memory of she's thinking of Xaden, and that's a recent memory and a recent thought of her?
Even though we know that was at least a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. But because she has that on the forefront of her brain, is that something that he can see? Oh, Dane.
All right. Well, Violet is a genius for being on morning breakfast duty because this helps her prepare for her challenges in the most Violet way possible.
Yes. She picked morning duties so she could subtly, and without anyone knowing, poison her opponents.
We love her.
We do. She's so smart. So specifically, she knows, because of Brennan's journal, her first opponent is Oren Seaver. And she sprinkles dried powdered fawnally berries onto his scrambled eggs. And no one's the wiser. We don't know if it's the first class of the day, but the first class we see of the day is a dragon class, where they're learning about the types of dragons, how to approach them, what you need to know about them. And
this would be my favorite class.
I agree. First, A, the dragons are here, and that is why I'm here. B, Professor Kaori has the signet to project what he has seen. So he is projecting these dragons. They're not life scales, but they're pretty huge. Like, some of them are described to be like 6 feet tall, and they're like perfect memory projections. And that's why I think I would love that class. You know how cool that
Could you imagine having that ability and then having a terrible, like, memory? So projecting, you're just projecting, like, fuzzy thoughts. That would be me.
So, maybe he wouldn't be able to have that signet. So now I always think, because we know signets, Kaori says in this chapter that signets are dragon times rider, and riders usually indicate what the signet type is, like, because signets are what the rider needs, and then the dragon indicates how strong of a power it is. And so I always really kind of like thinking about, how did this signet come about? And I see Professor Kaori, like, in his youth, being like, trying to describe something to someone, being like, okay, we were at this tavern, and, like, I kid you not, there was like 17 hot ass girls or something like that. And then he's like, but you don't understand. They were like beautiful. They were strong and smart. And and then they just appear.
I'm just imagining him being the world's largest narc. Like, he's like, I need to tell somebody something. I need to be able to explain it as best as possible. Here, let me just show you.
He's like, I saw this sketchy thing. Oh, it's actually right there. Wait, you can see that? I just like thinking about that now, because now we know that signets are like what the rider needs. And so it just makes me giggle. So he is there teaching them about dragons, and we don't actually get to hear about the first dragon that he is projecting, which is a green dragon. We switch to a red dragon, and we start to learn about them. Something I do want to note in this class before we get into the details is Violet is trying not to answer a lot of things because she's trying to respect Dane's wishes where she stays in the shadows. and also Jack's squad is also in this classroom with her.
So why are they always together?
A lot.
Yeah. It's exciting. Oh, Grian, I don't actually know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, is the first red dragon that we hear about, or is projected for the class. It's a red scorpion tail. It's the quickest to temper, and its name means the sun, which is fitting for a red dragon, I think. And it prefers to be approached from the left and the front, which we find out from the students answering questions for Kaori. We also learn that the whole point of this class leading up to threshing is for the cadets to learn about the temperaments of each specific breed and to keep it in mind when they're deciding which dragons to approach and which to avoid at all costs.
Yes.
There are 3 red scorpion tails willing to bond this threshing, which I don't know if that is normal for red dragons or not, but it doesn't seem to be anything too crazy. But what we do find out that is a little concerning is that only 100 total dragons are willing to bond this year, which is 37 less than last year and 26 fewer than the year before that.
Yes. And this is where my sticky notes come.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Why are the dragons not wanting to bond? Is the big question. What I wanted to answer, Larissa. So,
I'm glad you did this because I had that question and I just kept going.
I have 3 ideas, and these are not specifically my ideas. They are ideas I think the community's had, and then some just like my thought process. And then I will tell you my 3 ideas, and then I'm going to go into depth on a couple of them, and then we can chat. How about that?
All right.
Okay. This is one that I think is what's happening. What if the dragons can't bond because they're already bonded to Venin? Number 2, the dragons are pissed off at the riders, so they refuse to. Number 3, there are less dragons being born/hatched, so there are less dragons physically able to bond. To number 1, I have 2 points on this, Larissa.
I can't.
So the big questions is, can dragons bond more than one rider? We know that Violet has 2 dragons, so riders can have more than one dragon, but does it apply the other way? So, in Iron Flame, chapter 15-16, it is a quote from Kaori's Guide to Dragon's Kind. Mm-hmm. And it says, "We don't know at what point the dragons decided to bond only one rider, rather than bettering their odds with 2. So this tells me 2 things. There was previous times where dragons did bond more than one rider, or it has never been seen to be proven otherwise.
At
so
what
yes,
point they decided is for sure like it happened before.
So I would say the question, can they bond more than one rider, is a yeah. So the theory, what if they can't bond because of Venin, goes into another question. So if they can bond more than one rider, why can't they now? And I think then you turn to Jack. Jack turned Venin, has a dragon, and is described in Iron Flame that he is controlling his dragon. When the big scene happens, when Jack is revealed to be Venin, I think, or after, but when he is destroying the War Stone, and he kills his dragon, he specifically says, so easy to control. So they are able to control them in some way. And his dragon's eyes are described as opaque or foggy. So something's happening with the dragon where they don't have the control. And another point of what I think is his dragon didn't tell anyone that he was Venin. Either because his dragon is on the dark side, or because he couldn't because Jack told him no. So, if the dragons are being controlled and they're already bonded and their bonded riders are saying, you cannot go and bond another dragon, then it would understand why there's less dragons.
I'm so upset. I'm like slowly going into my own state of psychosis over here.
We're at 1 out of 3.
Oh my god.
And this brings up the biggest theory. I will turn into this theory later in the podcast when we get to this point in the chapter, but it brings up a really sad thing that I don't like to think about. Number 2. Are the dragons mad at the riders?
Yeah, for
My
sure.
2 points, yes, for sure. My 2 points are they mad at Navarre for not helping Permeal with the Venin? Are they mad at Navarre for not actually training the riders for what is out there? Because the riders don't know Venin's out there, and then they're going to go face them and then be SOL'd. Those are really my only 2 points on that part. And then my third point of, is the population of dragons decreasing? And that is why there are less dragons to bond riders.
I mean, we know the population's decreasing. It has to be if they're not having as many dragon babies.
Yes, and we, see that with Undarna coming out and hearing about the hatchlings, and even the black dragons we learn later in the chapter, there's only 2, and only 1 has been, born in the last century. So, the population could be decreasing, and that's why there's less correlation, but I do not think that is the big factor of this. Thoughts?
I think that's what we're supposed to think.
I think so too, but I don't think that's that it is the truth. Thoughts?
Jack is not brilliant enough to be the first rider who's turned Venin who controls a dragon still. That's my thought.
Correct.
I'm so annoyed.
I don't think he is. I truly don't think he is. I just think he's the first one that we physically see on the page.
Yeah.
Back to class.
Feel good. I don't feel good about this at all.
I know.
Okay. Terry talks about other dragons that are not good dragons, like what he would consider to be a good dragon. So I want to pay closer attention to who that is and if he mentions their riders at all.
A good point. If you think you can trust Aaron.
I don't know. I think so. I'm gonna say yes.
He's a sassy grandpa. How can't you not?
I don't trust Sigale, but whatever.
I don't trust anyone.
I don't trust everything is
anyone.
so suspicious.
I trust Violet.
No, I don't, because these technically aren't her actual words. These are Justinia's words from Violet.
I forgot.
Yeah, we can't trust a single thing. I don't even know if the freaking cat's real.
Do not bring Broccoli into this. Broccoli is the only good soul.
Alright, let's go back to class. I'm gonna be losing my mind over here, so you're gonna have to keep going.
We learned that there's less and less dragons being willing to bond. And that's very concerning because the cadets are still at a stable line. And there's less dragons. Supply and demand, real important.
Yeah, and threshing is only 2 months away, so yikes. We do see Jack still has his icy blue gaze. I think we would know if there was a mention of him having weird looking eyes. I feel like we would have remembered that.
So, I have a question, and I don't know the answer, so I'm hoping maybe you have insight.
Probably not.
Do we know if you have to be a rider to become a Venin? Or can anyone become a Venin?
I would assume.
I don't know.
I don't think we have this answer. We know that the scribes are closely related to everything that's happening with the Venin, like coming into the school and taking over. Do I know if anyone else could channel from the earth without a dragon? Without knowing how to feel and control power previously?
That's what I'm wondering, because it's like, how would they know how power feels and how that, like, pool is?
And the way that the Venin, like, have their power, it's very similar to a dragon's power.
I'm not sure on the answer either. Hopefully someone smarter and that's diving deep like us. Rebecca! I need you on speed dial.
I thought the whole concept of Venin was that they couldn't channel from dragons or channel from griffins, so they get jealous and channel from the earth. So how is it possible that dragon riders can become Venin? That's an interesting take.
So that, to me, sounds like, yes, anyone can become Venin. But I understand...
It's easier for them to reach for the power if they are riders or flyers.
Which I understand, because...
If they're normal humans, they have to be taught how to channel.
Okay, so the answer is yes. You can become a Venin regardless if you're a flyer, rider, or healer, or infantry, or just normal civilian. So the answer is yes, you can become Venin without being a rider. It's just easier if you're a rider or flyer because you know what the power feels like and how to channel it.
Based on theories. We don't actually know if this is fact. This is just community talking.
That's all my thoughts on the dragon population, or dragon decreasing bonding as well. They're just thoughts.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, class. We're going to class.
Okay.
Okay. So
we know dragons only talk to their bonded riders because they mention it during class. And Jack teaches us this. He also says, just like they only give their full name to their bonded rider. So thanks, Jack, for that information.
And Professor Kaori does say, we don't know the reason why they're not bonding. Dragons do not give us the reasoning. Then, Kaori brings up the navy blue dragon, Sigale, to start talking about her. And what we learn about Sigale is she is the rarest of her breed, the combination of her dagger tail and her blue scales. And blue dragons are also very powerful, and you usually see them on the Eastern Front because they're really good in battle. Yeah.
Yeah. Do dragons know what power their rider is going to have before the rider actually develops the power?
And my thought is maybe, but also I feel signets are very unique to the actual rider and what they need in a situation. Like, Dane needs information. That's just a core of his being. Xaden needs control. Mm-hmm. And so that's why he has his intelligent power, where he can know if he can trust people. And he also has an extremely powerful signet. I don't know, maybe.
It's just so weird that we know that they're lying about their names, yet they also have given names that the writers at the current time have, like, powers correlated to. But also, everyone else in the War College knows their names.
That's a good point. Do they specifically give Tieren's name when they talk about the Black Dragon next?
No.
But it's not like it's a weird thing, because, like, Violet, and even Dane have, like, say their names to their other riders, but not their full name. But, like, they do Tieren and not Tierenanok, supreme leader of the Black Dragons, except for Koda's leader, and... Okay, hold on. Tierenanok, supreme leader of Golden Feathertail, who is very, very bad at listening.
It could just be a writing choice, but to me, because we know the little tidbit that it's a fake name, I have questions about it.
That is fair.
One of the big things that we find is that everyone is told to stay away from Sigale.
Yeah. They're
Keep
like,
away
yeah,
from her.
if Xaden's not there, especially, run the fuck away. And we haven't mentioned Riddick has so many cute little quip pics.
I love Riddick's quips.
I do.
There needs to be a book that's called Riddick's Quips, and it's just everything he says.
I love how Rebecca describes him, too. She, like, loves him, and she's like, he keeps trying to get onto the page, and I'm just like, no, you're not even in the scene. I'm like, I love Riddick so much, put him in everything. So okay.
There are no blue dragons willing to bond this year, is something else that we figure out. We also learned that Sigale does not give an F about dragon laws whatsoever.
Nope.
She does whatever she wants.
Specifically, she broke the rule of bonding a rider who was in a familiar family line.
A direct descendant.
Yes, thank you. A direct descendant of her past rider. So, this is controversial. Not controversial. Well, okay. It is controversial in the dragon, like it's against dragon law, but Sigale doesn't care. But it is described as being Xaden's great uncle or uncle, but then later in the books, Xaden says that Sigale was bonded to his grandpa.
Yeah, because they were lying, so it wasn't as bad.
Okay.
Because they didn't want it to be like, they didn't want it to be really like direct. They wanted it to be like, okay, he is a part of the family, but it's not really like, it's not his dad, so it's no big deal. But it's his dad's dad.
Okay. Yeah. I thought I had something going on, but that makes logical sense. Okay. And then Jack. Okay, a first year next to Jack, which fully makes me feel like Jack's just like, fucking ask him. Ask, what about the black dragon? I know that there's one here. And Professor Kaori is like, yeah, and brings up
How does he know that? I guess that would be something really exciting for people to talk about. Maybe like their dad is like, oh yeah, there should probably still be one black dragon or something like that.
I also think because Jack's whole personality is about power and like his ego of being the best, that I feel like he might be like, oh, what dragon would give me the best power? What dragon would be the powerfulest? And then come up across research of being like, oh, well, blue dragons are really powerful.
It's
black
not
dragons are.
He just asked someone. He's not researching anything.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Jack wouldn't open a book.
He probably went to someone who was like a second or third year, and he was like, so, like, what's the most powerful dragon I could get, and is there a chance that there's one that I could bond?
Yes. So, Kaori brings up this humongous black dragon that Violet has to, like, strain her neck to see the head. And this is just a projection of on a smaller scale. So,
6
like,
feet.
you can...
Small. It's 6 feet of projection, and she's like, yep, that's a small scale.
It's a small scale. And so you can imagine how big this dragon is. And then we learned that black dragons are extremely intelligent and cunning and very, very rare.
The most rare.
The most rare, yeah. There is only 2 alive right now.
So we have Coda, which is General Melgren's black dragon. And Coda means war, which makes so much sense. And that is
because Melgren can predict battles. Oh my god, they're so giving names.
Yeah.
Fake names.
Koda is the oldest black dragon, and he is a sword tail. He? I don't know.
I think Koda's a he.
And then we also know, we don't get his name, but Tarn is the other one, and he is a morning star tail.
Which is also rare.
Very rare. And there hasn't been a black dragon that's been born in the last century. So...
Tarn was the last one.
Yeah.
Because Tarn's described to be 100 years old.
Yeah. And he's middle-aged. Yeah. Yeah. I guess he would be the last one.
I guess there could be one and they could have died, but I feel like you can't outsmart a black dragon. I don't know. That's what I think. I think Taryn's the last one. But so Jack is all like, I want that dragon. That one's mine. How do I approach that one? And Kaori's like, he's not bonding. He doesn't want to bond. He hasn't bonded in the last 5 years since his last rider. And he does a quick look at Violet. And then Jack's like, well, what kind of signet does he power? And this is where we learn that signets are equal to dragon and rider. It's a combination.
Yep.
And then Jack asks, well, what signet did his last rider have? And Kaori says, Naolan had the ability to siphon.
And he did it, I imagined he did it exactly like that. With that, like, subtle pausing and, like, the hesitancy to say it in front of Violet.
Yeah. And Jack's like, that's dope as crap. Like, how could you die on that? And how he died was Naolan was trying to save a fellow rider. And that fellow rider was Brennan, Violet's brother.
So with the siphoning signet that Naolan had, it said it could absorb power, or he could absorb power from various sources, other dragons, other riders, and then use it or redistribute it. That's intriguing.
That is intriguing.
It also sounds so much like the way Venin used their powers.
It does. And I think this is a good time.
It is time.
So, we know one other rider who has the ability to siphon. Mm-hmm. In Iron Flame, we learn that alone, and she is Liam's sister, and she gets the ability of siphoning. She is also terrified of this ability because I think she thinks of it as very much Venin. But the point I wanted to make to bring up her is that throughout the 3 books, we recognize that there are riders that correlate with Venin because magic always wants to balance. So if there's a Venin with a certain power, there's a rider with a certain power. Mm-hmm. So if we know Naolan had siphoning, he needs... It's a powerful thing.
He needs a counterbalance.
Needs a counterbalance. I think 100% now that he is Venin, mm-hmm. and he is still bonded to Tarn.
Mm-hmm. Still bonded to Tarn? I think that Tarn would have cut it off. Just like Sigale did.
Do you think you can?
Yeah.
We know that Andarna has the ability to cut it off. Yeah. Then why didn't Jack's dragon cut it off?
Because he wants power too. Okay. We also know that he's weak. Sigale and Tarn are both very strong. Jack's dragon is such a weak little dragon that Jack could have been like, yeah, this is easy. I'll just control him.
I also like that because I also like the thought of he was bonded to Naolan, mm-hmm. and then when he goes to the threshing field to save Andarna, mm-hmm. then he's like, this is an out. If I bond her, then I could have the strength to break that. Or I can break that. I think he would
have already cut it off. And I think that's why it took him so long to bond again. Because he needed to heal. He needed to heal from cutting off his bond.
Oh, that's also such a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. But my stand still thinks, I think Nolan's still alive.
Yep, agreed. And it makes sense because they literally said he was trying to channel too much power. He burnt out. He didn't. He just started channeling from the earth like Venin do. Mm-hmm. And it might have achieved resurrection.
Creation.
Yeah. So many thoughts on that, but...
Or creation.
It's... The theories are resurrection or sagedom. Why not both?
Yeah, agreed.
His name means light, vitality, and strength.
What does Xaden's name mean again?
Xaden's name means cleansing beam of light or little fire.
I don't think there's a correlation there. I just don't like that there's any similarity.
And Naolin's name was really hard to find a name meaning for because it's not necessarily Gaelic. So I was trying to go with languages that I think she would have pulled from based on what I know from her. So
that's fair.
Light, vitality, and strength. I think he was probably extremely strong, and I think he still is.
I agree. I consistently get Nolan and Naolin confused with one another.
I just realized something.
What?
Since we know that Naolin is alive and Brennan was there, Brennan knows he's alive, and it makes so much more sense now that he's being controlled by Naolin. Ugh, gross.
Do we ever get the eyes described from Brennan?
I don't know. What do the eyes of a what are they called? Wyvern. What do the eyes of a wyvern look
opaque?
Like? Also in Brennan's eye colors amber with one mention in iron flame. There's no lingering softness in the angles of his face, which now has tiny lines at the edges of his eyes. But that smile, those eyes, it's really him. I need the amber-colored eyes actual description.
Whoa.
His brownish red curls are chopped close to his skull instead of waving over his forehead. And there's no lingering softness in the angles of his face, which now has tiny lines at the edges of his eyes. Like a dimple flashing in his cheek when he grins, it's the only boyish thing left about him.
I think it's...
I don't know.
On purpose. Just like how she doesn't describe Jack until she has to.
Mm-hmm. I hate that it just all feels so...
icky. It feels
like everything felt like it felt like a theory up until this point. Now with all of the context that we have and going back and reading the verbiage and looking at everything that we know, it just feels like truth.
And it 100% could not be, but when there's so many coincidences,
and we know how intentional that Rebecca is.
She knows how to break my heart, and she's literally doing it actively.
Is she the best writer of all time?
I will say that there are very few books that I have gotten emotionally attached to characters and, like, outcomes, and I am a very empathetic sponge reader. So, like, when I read a book, I absorb all those feelings so much. And it's why I can't read certain books, because I will go into, like, a depressive state because of it. And so she has made me love and hate the same characters in the same books. And rereading it's like a pit in my stomach, because it's like, I don't know how it's gonna end, and I don't want any of these characters to die, because I love them so much. I feel like I feel them so much. Mm-hmm. But I know we're on book 3 of 5.
Yeah, and we don't get book 4 until 2027. And it's about to be, well, it's 2026 for you all watching right now, so...
1 more year.
1 year. Congratulations, y'all are living in the future. Right after the discussion that happens about like the Black Dragons, there's a mention that people don't love General Sorengale. They either fear her or want her favor. And this happens during the discussion between Violet and Professor Kaori, right? Because Violet comes up and asks, like, oh, was the rider that Neolin saved my brother? And he's like, yeah. And then this is Kaori saying, like, you don't realize how important your name is because you're treated differently here than you will be outside once you're actually in battle. Which I love that he talks about that and he's kind of believing in her at that point. Like, you're going to make it to battle.
I believe in you. I also think one last thing I want to mention is that he says, like, I've taught all of your siblings. I have taught Brennan. He was smart and a great rider. I've taught Mira. She is fierce. But, Violet, you have compassion, and you need to not forget that. And Violet's like, dragons don't pick over compassion. They pick strength. And
foreshadowing.
Kaori says, dragons pick based on reasons they don't want to share with us. Before the scene changes, we bring back to the population of the dragons and how there is only 2 black dragons and only 1 hatched in the last century. Is the color of dragons biological? So, like, if 2 black dragons, you'll have a black dragon baby? Or is it like Sigale and Taryn, a black and a blue? Would they have either a black or a blue? Or could they have a red? Like, is it random or is it biological? Do we know?
Or is it chosen?
Is it fate, random, or biological?
Well, what we know based on Andarna's hatching is that they knew for sure she would be the last one for a long time of her kind, so they kept her safe. So there has to be some choice involved. I just don't know what that choice is.
So we just don't know yet. Okay.
Yeah.
That was my last point I wanted before this scene change.
I'm ready to get a little lighter.
Yeah.
I am very upset.
So let's get lighter and talk about fighting people.
Which I can handle right now. I love Mickey just hanging out behind you. That is so cute in his little hole.
He loves the cage. It's our cat cage that we use to, like, travel with him. But Mickey, there's, like, blankets in there and stuff. He's always been, like, in love with it wherever we have moved. He likes, I feel like it's like a cave.
It's his like, safe space.
Yeah, it smells like him.
Niffler has energy, but Mickey is like the calm, soothing cat you just want sitting there.
Mickey is Taryn.
Yeah.
And Niffler is Andarna.
Niffler is Niffler.
Niffler is a whole different being.
Hey, we haven't talked about Harry Potter up until this point.
It's his name. Yes, I know it comes from Harry Potter, but I associate it so much with my cat now that I don't associate it with Harry Potter anymore. So anytime anyone's like, oh, isn't that from Harry Potter? I'm like, oh yeah, it is a creature. Really proud of ourselves. I was going to ask you what dragon colors do you think would associate with what houses, but I don't think we know enough about the other dragons, so I didn't ask you.
I just can't.
Okay,
I think I'm traumatized. I think you've officially traumatized me.
I didn't mean to break you.
I'm trying to move on, and in my head I'm just like, there's so much happening. It's spinning in there. I'm connecting dots. I'm flipping pages. I'm running through everything my little pea brain can handle, and it's not going well up there.
We are switching gears. So, class ends, everyone leaves. Now we are on the sparring mat for the challenges. Dun dun dun. Oh, we went different directions. So the first challenge we're seeing is Rhiannon and a person from Second Wing.
Yep.
So, Rhiannon kicks his ass, or their ass, and she wins, and they take daggers from the losing opponent. So, like, when Rhiannon won, she took one of her opponent's daggers.
It's interesting that they all have daggers.
That is true. We do see other weapons, because we do see, like, people doing swords, and, like, a couple people are like, oh, yeah, I'm training for this bow and arrow or this thing, but all of them have daggers, and it's not something that they have to, like, learn to use. They just have them.
But they have all been training, so they probably all have daggers that are just meant for their body and their fighting style, and then Violet is just like, I'll take anything, please and thank you.
Noted that all of Fourth Wing is in the sparring ring, and so is Jack effing Barlow. And
so,
his squad.
First Wing.
First Wing. So Fourth Wing and First Wing are in the room right now. Noted that Dane and Violet are side to side, elbows touching.
Elbow to elbow.
Yeah, don't think that he's reading minds right now, but just I always point out when he's touching her.
I think it's a comforting thing, and I think
so
honestly,
it's like,
Violet's comforting him more than he's comforting her.
It's just like how we would stand next to each other. It's not. I agree. I just making a scene. And then Dane's like, he's gonna try to kill you. And Violet's like, well, what? And he's like, your opponent, I heard him talking to some friends. They think you're a liability. He's gonna try to kill you.
She's like, I'm not surprised.
It's a freaking Tuesday, Dane. Where have you been?
Yeah.
And then Jack starts antagonizing her. Again. And Violet's like, you know what? Fuck you, Jack. And throws a dagger, 2 daggers. Nicks his ear, and then one right below his balls.
She's so good at aiming.
So good at aiming. And Dane's like, the fuck, Violet? I told you not to fuck with him. And then you just see Xaden with a little smirk.
Yes, and she looks at him because she feels that little prickle
on her neck.
Her Zadar is going off.
Do you think he knows that people feel that? Or do you think that's specifically only Violet that feels it?
I think that's just specifically for them.
I love them. I love them. I don't know if I want to say this because you're already in a fragile situation. I saw a TikTok the other day. I don't know the creator, so I am so sorry. But she posed the question, would you rather Xaden and Violet be endgame, or Riddick make it all the way to the end? Moving on.
Riddick's not making it through the next book.
We're not. He has faults, Larissa. He has faults, and he has to learn past them.
Okay, sure.
I don't know what the faults are.
Rhiannon also might not make it through the past book. I just want us to point that out because she might be the perfect best friend.
I'm gonna cry so fucking hard.
If Rhiannon freaking dies, I don't know how we're going to handle that. Like, everyone's worried about Riddick. What about the serious losses? Like, he's a silly little, like, funny guy, and we'll all be sad. I think if Rhiannon dies,
I'd be mortified.
We'll go into an actual depressive state.
I would be mortified.
Yeah.
At that point, I need her to stop writing a book and start writing a book of Rhea and Liam in the afterlife.
Yeah. Getting things going up there. I don't know what they would do.
I don't care if it's just them eating ice cream, Larissa.
Honestly. Oh my god. One thing that I have learned.
Yeah.
Or not learned, but I've been thinking about. Oren gets information about Violet from his sister because she's a healer. Why is he allowed to talk to her? Violet can't talk to her mom.
Could it be just as simple as he went to the healer's cauldron to be healed and then just ran into her?
Probably, but it's still suspicious.
Yeah, because Violet's mom is literally on the grounds where she is.
Yeah.
I, also, side tangent on TikTok, we posted a clip where it was me, like, saying my thoughts about Violet's mom starting the storm on Parapet, and Larissa had a different point of view. And I kid you not, I think I was the only person that thought Violet's mom hated her. Because everyone else in the comments and everything are like, yeah, I think she's just trying to be supportive and love her in the way that she can.
Yeah, I think after Iron Flame and Onyx Storm, we all kind of shifted thoughts.
I never did. Until now. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Then Violet gets called for her match. Sorengale versus Seaver. Blair.
And we know at this point that she already poisoned his eggs for breakfast.
And he's described to be a little greenish around the gills. He doesn't have gills. Just... I don't know. Orin's a fish. We don't know. And so they described the fight. It was a good back and forth, but in the end, Violet overtook him because of the poison. Yeah, he started throwing up. She had a knife to his throat. He was throwing up. She had to like remove the knife so she didn't kill him. And then the professor was like, "Yeah, he yields."
Yeah.
And Violet won.
Yep. This chapter right at the end goes week by week by week, and it is so fast.
It does. So we have, after that, we go week 2. Violet goes against a girl, and she gave her mushrooms.
Not the type of mushrooms you're thinking of. A mushroom that doesn't actually exist.
A poison mushroom. And she won and got a dagger. But each week, it's not like she won scot-free. She does get injuries, and we do mention that. So in the second week, faces a girl. Violet poisons her with the mushrooms. But before she could finish her off, not kill her, just finish the match, the girl does get a good kick to Violet's knees and hurts her knees.
But she said, that can heal, I'll just wrap it, it'll be fine. I think at this point we already realize Violet's doing everything she can not to kill another person.
Yes.
She does not want that to happen. She just wants to be able to survive sparring.
Yeah. Week 3, she faces a guy and poisons him with
Xena root.
Xena root.
Which grows near the ravine.
She wins, but the guy does get a good punch to the face and cuts her lip.
The next time, she uses Tarsilla leaves, and she poisons this curvy cadet. I noted that. I was like, ooh, there's a curvy cadet. I love that.
I love that. I just wrote girl.
I looked up what the word meant. I can't remember the specific word that Rebecca used, but it wasn't what I had known. So I looked up the meaning, and it's like a plus size kind of curvy cadet. And I was like, I love it.
That. She got kicked to the ribs and the stomach, but she's just going to wrap them and move on.
And then the next week, she was fighting a sweaty gap-toothed guy, and she had poisoned him with carmine tree bark. She doesn't just poison him, she poisons the entire 3rd squad claw section of 3rd wing. She's like, I need to cover my tracks. So I'm poisoning everybody.
Everyone's just a little sick. It must be the flu. But he does injure her thumb and her nose. And the reason I wrote down the injuries, and something that I really like, is throughout the books, Violet does get stronger. Mm-hmm. But Rebecca really doesn't let you forget that just because she is physically, mentally, and powerful, more strong, she still has this underlying issue that's never gonna go away. Mm-hmm. But every week it's oh, they kicked my ribs, I'm gonna wrap it. Oh, she hit my knees, I'm gonna wrap it. It's just, I really love that Rebecca has this balance of, I know that this illness will never go away, but she just pushes it through, but she also doesn't put it on the back burner. I really respect that, and because it would be so easy to be like, it's been 6 months, Violet's really strong now, and then you never hear her having to wrap or
it wouldn't have made it a good story.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Like, she does such a great job of keeping in mind what Violet would be dealing with throughout the whole series, which I watched an interview because I wanted to make sure we did figure out which chronic illness she had.
Yeah.
It's EDS. I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but I think it's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a group of 13 genetic disorders that is encompassed in that diagnosis. So that's what she has.
Perfect. I'm glad that we actually got the name. Okay, and then we are on week 6.
My favorite dagger she gets during this match, the match with the guy that she just had, that, which is a pretty ruby hilted dagger. I was like, oh, that's so pretty.
It's also the only dagger that's also described.
Yeah.
Really.
So why not be my favorite? Because at least you described it, right?
Also, it's pretty. I imagine it being like a little gold and ruby. Okay.
There are 20 more first years that have passed because of sparring at this point.
Yes. I noted this in my notes that we started with 301 minus 2 who died, or 3. Okay. I feel like we are in the realm of 350 to 365 now, based on
260 to 265.
Yes, it's the realm of 260 to 265, based on Jack has killed a couple. People have probably just died normally, and then there's 20 people that died during sparring.
Yeah,
that's where I just like want to keep that in the back of my head. Still a lot of people.
So the next week, Rayma Corey is supposed to be Violet's next match. So we're at the beginning of September, based on my calculations. Mm-hmm. And she used whalewind fruit peels to poison Rayma. But an issue occurs where she is too sick before the match even occurs that Rayma is taken to the healers. So Violet starts, like, backing up off the mat when she finds that out. She's like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna take the week off. It'll be fun. And then
someone steps up and says, I'll fight her. And that someone happens to be Zaddy. And Dane's like, no, you won't. That's so unfair. And
I think that's where the chapter ends.
It does. It's chapter 9. The epigraph for chapter 9.
Are we changing dialects?
Just for the word epigraph.
Because it's so fancy. I love that it's a part of our vocabulary now. And diegetic preface.
Yeah, I forgot that one. So you're good. It's all you.
Oh my gosh. All right.
I will not die today. Violet Soaringale's personal addendum to the Book of Brennan.
Yay! I love that she's writing in his book.
I feel like that's such a scribe.
This is the information I have. I will not die today.
It's pretty good information. She is not wrong. She will not die today.
She was right. Violet opens up by saying that she's completely screwed because she knows that Xaden is extremely strong, extremely capable, and he has the right to kill her if he wants to. So she's freaking out, but she's also trying to control that anxiety. She says, Xaden steps forward, all 6 foot everything of him. I was like, ooh.
Okay. Hi.
And he's wearing midnight fighting leathers. And I was like, is that dark blue? Is he matching his dragon?
I feel like midnight blue is like a thing. But like all of their fighting, like all their stuff is black. So it's just maybe midnight
but why
black.
would it be described as midnight?
Maybe it has a tint of blue.
Yeah, like...
He's matching his dragon.
That's so cute.
Green flag, Xaden. Matches your girl.
Good taste. Dane is freaking out, and he's like, you cannot let this happen. Make it stop. And Xaden is like, she'll be in one piece when I'm finished teaching her. which is such a dig at Dane. He's like, why aren't you teaching her? Which is the same question I had. Why aren't you doing anything about it if you care so much? You are awful.
Honestly, it's not like it's gonna break the rules to teach her either. Like, you're supposed to be a leader for all of the first years, Dane. What the fuck have you been doing? Xaden is also handing Imogen all of his weapons. And Violet's like, don't you think you're gonna need those?
He's like, nah, I'm good.
You have plenty for the both of us.
Professor Emeterio, who is like the teacher for sparring, he's like, you guys are all in for a treat. He is a master at this. Yeah, he is, because he knows what you're gonna do and when you're gonna do it.
There's no beating him.
Oh my gosh.
So
her heartbeat is picking up. I don't know if it's anxiety or attraction. It's probably a mixture of both, but her body is literally reacting to being in the same space as him. A corner of Xaden's mouth rises in a smirk, and the gold flecks in his eyes seem to dance. The sadistic ass is enjoying this.
They go back and forth a little bit where Violet tries to attack and Xaden literally just like deflects them all. She throws a dagger at him and he catches it. And he's like seen that one before.
Yeah.
She does a little like combination. He bats it away. Like, it's like trying to do the image of this is nothing to him. And Violet's just like, how the fuck am I gonna get him?
And she's getting so ticked off. Yeah. She knew that she was gonna have her ass handed to her. She had accepted that before it even began. She didn't know if he was just going to like beat her in a, like the general way, like in a sparring fight, or if he was actually going to kill her, but she had accepted that in either of those ways she was going to lose. But what she wasn't going to do is look absolutely pathetic, and I love that about her.
She's going to try. She's not going down without a fight, and I agree. A line that I love that Xaden says, going for blood, are we, Violence? My name is Violet. I think mine suits you a little bit better.
Yeah, that's such a good, like, conversational, dialogue between those two. Oh my gosh.
I love them. We literally had such deep conversations, and I think it's just gonna be you and me being like,
He's been on top of her at this point, and he like gives Violet his hand, and she takes it, and he in his head is thinking like, oh my god, I can't believe she just fell for that.
And he uses that to pin her down again.
To tug at my thigh, and another one of my daggers is gone. I can't. Why does he know where all of her daggers are?
Do you think it's easy to see? Like, do you think
yeah, because everything
completely?
Is so tight. It has to be easy to see, and she's so small.
She fits very nice. So, after they're back on the ground and Xaden gets up, he offers her his hand again. Mm-hmm. She does not take it this time, and he gets a little smirk on his face. And so it's Xaden standing in the middle, not even trying, his arms on his sides, like, and Violet is circling him.
And he's like, are you gonna go for it, or are you just gonna prance around? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know, Xaden. I don't know what to do with you.
And she keeps going for the same moves, which he thinks is an awful beginner move.
Yeah, he's like, they're not the right moves for you. They're predictable, even for someone who literally knows what you're gonna do. Okay.
There's one point where I think we've covered the things like we need to with most of the fighting, but there is one point where she is able to get an attack on him, and it's when she doesn't think about it first. So he was actually surprised because she didn't even know what she was going to do. So she kicks out the back of his legs and he falls to his knees.
I want to note, though, that because we read both point of views, in this point of view, or in Xaden's point of view during this scene, he is, like, thinking about her. Mm-hmm. And, like...
A lot more than she's thinking about him. Like, yes. She'll have these moments of attraction. She said she looked into his eyes and, like, time stands still and she forgets everyone's there. He's doing that the entire time. And he's like, you can't be attracted to her.
And Violet's in her head being like, you can't be attracted to toxic men. So why are you being all attracted?
And we're all like, you can so be attracted to toxic men. Do it.
But he was thinking about her, thinking about, like, why do I care so much about her? Like, what is happening? And then Violet, like, makes a snap decision and gets a attack on him, and he gets down to his knees. But then he quickly sharpens up.
She jumps on his back, and she's trying to, like, crush his windpipe so he can't breathe.
Yeah, it's a move that Reed tried to teach her, but
she's too small, and he's too big, and it just doesn't work. So he flips her again onto her back, and he gets on top of her.
Straddling her hips.
Yep.
With a knife against her throat.
Yep.
Or, like, his arm against her throat.
Forearm rests against my throat, not cutting off air, but definitely capable of it, and his hips have mine pinned, and my legs useless on either side of his as he lies heavily between my thighs. He's unmovable.
I also want to note that at this point, from Xaden's point of view, you know that he is not intending to kill her. Mm-hmm. Violet doesn't know this, but she is slowly learning that he is giving her tips quietly, and, like, so she can only hear it. So she's realizing he is teaching her, and it's only for her ears. But we know, like, Xaden specifically says, like, I lean all my weight on my left leg or my arm to not crush her. So he's actively has any thought of killing her. He is doing this to teach her.
One thing we don't ever figure out in either perspective is why he chooses to be the one participating in the fight that day.
We know Segale thinks it's fucking reckless.
And he's like, nah, bye, I'm gonna cut you off.
And he is very good, and I feel like now we're jumping back and forth, which is probably smart, but at the beginning of the fight, he does cut her off, and two things to notice is you get to see where he grounds, which is in the hills of Terrandor. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is he notes that he makes sure his shields are completely up, because he knows Dane is just waiting outside of the ring. Because he knows he's an antagonist. Well, a type.
A weaker type.
A very weaker type. He's a weaker male. I'm sorry, that was mean, wasn't that?
We can be mad at him right now.
I'm mad at him at the end of this chapter, too.
She says, I can't let him win. Well, she kind of thinks that to herself. And she slips one of her last daggers free and goes for his shoulder. Idiot move. And he grabs her arm and pins it on the ground. And she's like, ah! I'm watching Emily in Paris. So she says merde multiple times. So attracted to each other during this moment.
And it's noted in both perspectives that they have completely forgotten that they're surrounded by people.
Yeah, it is a moment just for them, even though everybody else is there. Beautiful fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You traitorous bitch. As she's talking to her body. Love that.
You're not attracted to him. You traitorous bitch. And then Xaden's finally is like, get your dagger.
Every dagger that he's gotten from her so far, he throws at Dane's feet, which is just a little like, see, this is something you could have controlled and helped her with. This is another one you could have helped her with. This is something you could have done, but you are not doing it, and here I am.
He also notes that all of the daggers are, like, huge for Violet. It's just a one pass quick sentence, but...
Yeah, and that's something he thinks to himself. He doesn't say it to her, but he's like, these daggers are too big for her. They are not made for her size or her fighting style. And he's like, she doesn't have one of those yet, but she'll get there. And he also says on the outside, you're tiny, like an insult. She says his eyes say it like an insult. I don't think that's true. I think that's her just trying to understand what his eyes are saying. She's like, well aware. Thanks, Xaden. And he said, so stop going for bigger moves that expose you. And he takes her hand and he drags it down different parts of his body. And he's like, you could have gone for this or this or this. And those all would have been better for your size.
But she says, those are all fatal moves. And I have tried to avoid all of those.
At this point, they're still in the same position.
They are.
And he whispers and he says, you can't keep getting away with poisoning everyone before a match. You can't poison everyone when you're out in the real world before you face them. And this is a whisper just to her.
Yes. And she is like, oh shit, he knows. Mm-hmm. How does he know? It's like, I know everything, Violet. And
this is when he thinks to himself, because I know better potion masters, and he's thinking about Brennan. And he also thinks to himself, shit, she doesn't know her brother's alive.
That's so sad.
At this point, Xaden has spent more time with Brennan than Violet has.
I know. Here, baby. Sorry, the cats came and...
Oh, Violet, you're good, but I've known better potion masters. The trick is to not make it quite so obvious.
He says that to her, but then he also thinks, like, Brennan would have done better. But, and then Dane interrupts, and it kind of jars them back to, like, fuck, there are people around us.
They're watching us right now. He did think to himself, during this conversation, she picks up on his cues quickly, so he's like, oh, she's smart.
Yeah, like, he compliments her on how quickly she processes her motions and cues that he, like, and how, like, fast her brain works. He's like, oh, shit, like, she is really smart.
Yeah, and he said she doesn't even know that that's a skill that she'll be able to use later. She doesn't see that in herself yet. But yeah, Dane is like, I think she's been taught enough for one day. And then Xaden's like, is he always that overprotective? And I was like, yeah, but he cares about me. And Xaden says, he's holding you back. The way he treats you is not doing any favors. That's what he says to her. I love how honest he is at that moment.
Yes.
Hi, Tail.
He's always...
He envisions Violet as a cat. He said it in the chapter. He said she's a cat.
I love how we both... Like, I think Violet also mentions he's like a cat when he walks on.
I forgot that she was jealous that Xaden was handing his stuff to Imogen, and, like, she was thinking, I wish that was me.
Yeah, she did feel a little jealous.
Xaden gives Violet the ruby dagger back, and he sheathes it for her, and she in her head is like, oh, that was so attractive. And he said, she said, you're not gonna disarm me? And he says, nope, defenseless women have never been my type.
And he walks away.
Xaden, before he was even going on the mat, was thinking to himself that he had a mission this weekend. And I was trying to figure out what mission he was going to be on. And I am assuming it was like a weapon delivery. Based on
That's what I got away from it as well.
And we also find that there are 107 marked ones when we're reading Xaden's perspective. This would be like the first time that's fully mentioned if it were in chronological order. He also notices that Violet has hazel eyes, and he thinks they're beautiful. And he says that Violet has a core of steel. Even though her outside might be more fragile, he realizes that she is so much stronger than what other people think. Which in like a sparring situation could be an advantage for her because people won't practice or train as hard to fight her.
Yeah, they're going to underestimate her. Oh, another green flag for Xaden.
Yeah. At the end of his point of view, he gets off the mat and Garrick is like, boy, you have it bad. And Xaden's like, you know nothing. I was thinking about killing her. He was like, you were thinking about touching her in a very different way.
And he's like, shut the fuck up because I want to punch something and it will be you. And then
Garrick
Xaden
is so observant.
He is. He's very quick on that. Like,
yeah. Considering no one else noticed, I wonder if people did.
Might have, but like I feel like Garrick is very aware of how
this is one of
Xaden
his
works.
Skills.
Yes. Xaden gets away from her as far as he can, so there's distance between him and Violet.
Because he already realizes he's losing self-control around her. We also learn in this scene that Garrick is Xaden's best friend, and they are great sparring partners because of how good they both are at sparring. So they're pretty equivalent in their abilities to fight other people.
Which is impressive because Garrick doesn't have the ability that Xaden does where he can know the intention.
Yeah. I think Garrick would have been a great wing leader as well, based on what we know about him now.
Xaden. Then we go to Violet's point of view, and it is after the battle. It's later in the night, and she's in Dane's room.
This is the scene that really made me think they could have been Endgame. For the first time reading it.
Oh, really?
Yes, because of the feelings she was getting. And all of the touching, which I didn't know was like an issue before. I just thought it was super intimate, and I liked that they were like having this conversation. He was taking care of her. But yeah, so we go to a scene where Violet and Dane are together, and he is kind of like massaging her, trying to like help remove all of the tension and like anything that's happening with her muscles and bones and stuff like that. He's there just trying to comfort her and do what he can.
Which, like, in the scheme is nice. Like, that's very thoughtful of him to take time out to help her out. Mm-hmm. But then he starts in on her again about this fucking, like...
You need to leave, Violet, and I've come up with a plan. I've been talking to Markham. He said he'll still take you. Like, you can go right now. And she's like, I can't believe he's thinking this about me. Like, why? Why won't he just give it up? And I've been winning all my matches. Why doesn't he believe in me at this point? I can't believe she wasn't more angry at him.
I also to note that he was talking to Malcolm, which makes me think, do you think if he knew anything about the club that he started to say things yet or not? But also, interesting that he said Markham can push you can push you through the first year, and then...
And he won't tell your mom. Like, she won't know until you're officially initiated as a scribe. Which is so interesting because we already know that her mom is watching and she's there. Wouldn't she hear about the absence of her daughter between all of the professors? There's no way she wouldn't know.
There is no way. But Dane is just grasping at straws at this point, so...
And they get into a huge argument. But he is so concerned. So he needs to convince her, and he wants her to see why this is such a huge problem.
But you could help her. Dane, you could. You could have trained her. You could have been in the sparring ring practicing with her.
And what's taking me off at this moment, they are breaking a rule with her being in his room right now. And he doesn't seem to care. True. But he refuses to break rules when other people are around. When other people could see. Because he's a freaking coward.
Yeah. I also, one thing, Xaden does, like, call out Dane when he's walking away from the match. But he does call him out, being like, you could have been helping her, dude. maybe you can actually help her instead of worrying about her or whatever.
So to get this point through Violet's head, Dane is bringing Violet's thoughts to threshing because it's coming up pretty quickly. And he said, first years are allowed to do whatever they want to do during threshing. They will get out all of their vendettas that they have been building up to this point. And second and third years have to sit there and watch. I do not want to watch you die, and I cannot help you, Violet. So you need to understand that I can't lose you. You cannot go through with this. And that's what he's saying to try and convince her. She sees how upset he is, and he kind of whispers that he's like, I cannot lose you. Like, he's heartbroken. And she cares so much about him and all of her friends. So she's like, I'll think about it.
I just hate that he has no trust in her.
Yeah.
It's just a consistent thing. It's like, it's one of the reasons I've never really liked him. Is just like, there's no faith in her. And Xaden, like, without even knowing her, is like gonna give her the benefit of the doubt.
He's been touching her this whole time.
He's
whole massaging her whole body.
I don't think it's to do anything, but it's just, he's touching her.
He literally is begging her this whole time, which I don't know why I find that aspect attractive, but I do. I think what I find attractive in that moment is that he's willing to be so vulnerable with her.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You can't say he doesn't care for her. It's just, it sucks that he doesn't believe in her.
Yeah,
and I think that's
disgusting. It is disgusting. Because if we look back even, like, what was it? Not one chapter ago, but maybe 2 chapters ago, they were climbing trees together. They were doing all of this physical stuff. He knows she's capable. She just gets hurt. Yeah. So why can't he see that with healing, she would be fine? She's smart. She's talented. She is strong and independent, and she always has been. She took over binding herself and healing herself when she was very young, and he saw that. Why can't he see that she can figure out ways to survive and be capable now?
I think he's just so blindsided with the fact of, like, well, if she faces a dragon or goes to threshing, she's gonna fucking die, and none of that matters. And that's just a shame, because you should trust your friend, because she has proven to you time and time again that she will not die today.
She can take care of herself. She doesn't need anybody. And she would be even more capable if you taught her some of your skills and your tricks that you've been able to learn the last year.
What? Crazy.
Now that I'm angry, again.
I know. It's bad.
I believe that this book, the version of this book, come out 1 or 2 years ago when it was the holiday edition. Maybe it was 3 years ago. With the black edges. It was a lot after. Perspective.
I don't remember exactly.
I don't know, but I love it. It was a holiday edition, so it feels very festive right now. But it has the black edges because it has Xaden's perspective, and that's so his color.
Yeah. So Violet is getting more and more upset with Dane, and she's just like, I'm not fucking leaving. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm going to stay. I'm going to survive. And he's like, no, please, but you have to leave. You have to leave.
Please, Violet, listen to me.
I literally wrote in my notes, Dane, go fuck yourself.
And she's thinking it too.
Yeah. Like, I just, like, I'm so annoyed with him. She is very upset with him. But she does say, I'll think about it, and then leaves.
Yeah. Because the only reason she's going to think about it is not because she stopped believing in herself or doesn't think she can find a way to survive. It's because she cares about him so much.
You have valid points, but I also think it's a little bit to just shut him up.
Yeah. I don't know, it'd be so hard. Like, alright, let's close the archives now that we're in this weird mood.
Yeah. It's a hard
And let's
one.
have the bonded breakdown now that we've, like, hinted at it. But we can kind of put it in our perspective. What if I came to you and I said, you need to listen to me. You at least need to try, because I can only help you so much. Like, at least think about it. What would you do? How would you handle that situation if I'm begging you and I'm, like, basically on the verge of tears because I'm going to lose you?
I mean, I would think about it, but I think in the end, me telling you I'll think about it would be a lie. But I think in this perspective of you and me is you have seen me time and time again get past the label, get past the diagnosis, and not let it hold me back. And you would never come to me like trying to get me out of a situation like that, because you would see me capable of doing it. You would always, like, you might come to me and say, hey, like, this is what I can do to help you. This is what I can give you. It might not be enough. I think you should maybe leave, because I don't know. I know this is a scary situation, but you would never nag me on it to the extent that Dane has. You would trust in me to be able to do something.
Knowing and, like, seeing you go through life the way you have, I've never seen you as someone who isn't capable of doing anything. So I think that's where, like, looking back on how I felt about Dane and thinking he was so attractive and seeing that quality in him, I think that he is so wrong. Yeah. Because of everything he's seen Violet go through.
Like, I see the care. I do. I see the... It's kind of like... To me, it's not like a friendship. Like, I picture it more like my parents, where I know they love me to death, but they also would never want me to go into danger because they would be too worried for me. And so I see it in that kind of perspective of, like, they would want me to do everything to get out of that situation so I wouldn't be hurt. And I think that's what Dane's trying to do. It's just...
What he should have done was just give her the support that she needs to get through it, no matter the cost for himself. If he's a true friend, he would do anything to make sure his friend could handle it, get through it, and find a way to survive without making excuses for her or her illness, because she doesn't need that.
I think it's hard for some people to not look at you and see the illness or the diagnosis, and that it comes with, like, I mean, I've time and time again, you and my other friends have been like, oh, I completely forgot, like, sorry, I didn't even think about it. And it's like, when you do get close, you forget about it, because it's not, hey, I'm Lizzie and this, it's just, hey, I'm Lizzie. But it's just hard because you see that Dane and her are so close and they've gone through so much, and it's just, I just wish that he could just open his eyes and see that she's capable, because Xaden's literally known her for a couple weeks, but known of her for longer, but he instantly sees the strength, and it just hurts that his best friend, or her best friend, can't.
You would be pissed at me. If I was seeing you that way, you would be so mad.
Because I've worked my whole life not to be known by a diagnosis.
Yeah.
And I think Violet is the same way. She it's a thing. It happens. It will never go away. Mm-hmm. It will always be there. But that does not mean you have to live your life by it. Yeah. I love Violet so much for that. How would you poison people? Okay, we're changing the subject. How would you get past sparring?
All right, I'm thinking back to last time when I said I would have a licking method. And in this instance, I wish that was my method.
Xaden, don't worry. I know how to take you down.
But he would see my intention, though.
He reads your thoughts, and he's
grab
like...
my tongue.
No, I think he'd just be like, fuck, I'm leaving. I don't even know what to do with this.
I would have definitely, if I had to stay, it's so hard to put myself in this situation because I wouldn't be there. Yeah. But if I had to stay, I would have been training my butt off, as I do.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I would have done my best. But there's always something inside of me that is just a little bit off. So there would have been something funky that I would do every single match within bounds. So, like, I would have, like, poked their nose and gone boop or something that would have just, like, made it
thrown them off.
Instead of so serious, because that's who I am.
I don't think I would win every battle like Violet did. I think I would lose a couple, but I don't think I would lose all of them. I think, I agree, I would train so hard to get better. And then I think along the lines, like, you're because you can't be serious in that aspect, but me because I think it would, like, mentally get to them, I would do something that would, like, throw them off balance. Like, kind of like in the first when she's with Imogen and she uses that emotion to get under Imogen, I would try to, like, do something like that. Like, even if it's just, like, a weird funky dance that I do at the beginning for them to be like, the fuck? And then I would quickly punch them in the nose.
I also think a skill that you could use is befriending them, because you're so good at making friends and having conversations and getting close with people. If you're close with everyone, they're not going to hurt you too bad.
I like it. I'll use that. I will use that. But I would train my butt off. But I think she faces, 6 weeks. She only loses technically against Xaden, but not really because she didn't get a dagger taken. So 5 weeks. I think I would win 2, lose 3.
I think I would lose all of them, but have a great time doing it. And I would definitely get people to laugh.
You would. You and Riddick, best of friends.
We would have been such a good duo if I was in this book. I'm just loving that thought more and more. I was going through and I was like, Riddick's quips. I have similar thoughts in my head. I don't say them out loud. He is like if I didn't have anxiety.
In a filter.
Yeah.
and common sense.
I don't have a filter. That's the thing. When I'm with people that I know and care about, I don't have that filter. It is completely gone. It's because of my anxiety. It's just blocked.
Maybe you and Riddick should talk. Maybe he has some tricks up his sleeve for that.
Man, I'm liking Riddick more and more. It's gonna hurt even more when he dies.
Shut up!
He's dying. Not gonna die. He and Rhiannon are gonna be together. The R's are gonna be together, and they're gonna die. And now that I'm thinking, like, back on Garrick and Xaden being so close and the way they're described, I could see him more and more being the brother. I didn't realize how close they were.
I went down this rabbit hole of that, but literally they talk in the last couple chapters of Onyx Storm. They go through different perspectives, which someone on TikTok made the point of, like, why did we get a Rhiannon perspective? And I was like, but I need to reread it because I don't remember hers.
Yeah, I cannot wait to reread Onyx Storm.
I remember Imogen's, and I remember,
Imogen's was so heartbreaking.
It was. But, like, the last part of Imogen, she's talking about how I don't remember them at this point, so it's Bodhi and Garrett. One of them is throwing up, and one of them is like, I just gotta go do something. And then she looks up in the sky and sees darkness on the horizon. And I believe that darkness is Xaden throwing out his storm. And at that point, he's already seen the brother. So it can't be Garrett or Bodhi.
So is it? I'm hoping it's Liam.
And my thoughts are Liam, Auric, or Brennan.
I don't think him and Auric would be close enough to be considered brothers.
I don't think so either, but it's specifically said that they... I take it back. Because I really don't think they would be close enough. I think it's Liam.
Or Brennan.
Or Brennan.
And at this point, if our theories are true, it wouldn't be as shocking if it were Brennan. What would be shocking is him being Venin instead of Wyvern.
Yes.
But I think that could appear in a human in any way because we wouldn't know what that looks like. For a human to be a Wyvern.
What if it's Riddick?
It could be. I think they have gotten closer. I don't know if they're as close as other people I thought about.
That's also true. Thinking of all the males now.
When I'm thinking about what Rebecca is saying in interviews about Bodhi needing everything that Xaden has to a fault, it feels so much like she's saying it's him. But that could be to throw us off. Because timing doesn't make any sense.
I want to reread it so badly. Yeah. Okay.
We'll get there. If you're going up against Xaden, he's there. You're about to fight him. Okay. We're not Violet. So we don't think he's going to kill us. We're just about to spar with one of the hottest, most powerful men at the school. How you feeling? What you thinking? What you gonna do?
Nervous as all crap.
Yeah.
Nervous as all crap that I'm gonna get my ass handed to me, which I think in the end I do, but I think what happens more turns into, like, if you ever played wrestled with, like, a significant other, where, like, it's all playful, but then, like, there's a little part of you is like, I gotta fucking win this, though. And then you actually try. I think that's what's gonna happen, but in the end, I'd get my butt handed to me on a silver platter. What about you?
I would turn and run away.
Just like, fuck this.
Not because I would be scared to get hurt, but because I would be so giddy and nervous, and I can't handle those feelings. So I would have to run.
Be like, I'm done. Go. Nope.
We're in the class where you learn about dragons. Okay. We're learning about all the different types. Which one are you looking at to be the one that you kind of want to match with? Do you have a color? Do you have a specific one?
I would want to match with a blue, but none of them are bonding. But I would only want to match with the blue because I love blue.
I love that.
Hence. Other than that,
are you thinking to yourself, like, what power might you have? Like,
I don't know what power I would have.
We can think about that more and talk about it when signets come up more.
Yeah.
But
I feel like maybe a green.
Yeah.
They're wise. I like those. Calm. What about you? What would you pick? What are you looking for?
If I'm trying to consider my own safety, I don't want anything that's a bright color, and I don't want anything too big. Maybe brown?
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Still powerful, but kind of hidden.
Subtle.
Can hide. Yeah. I like it.
Alright, this is Listener Lore, the section where we take what you have to say and we bring it to the podcast. Today we do have poll results. People were answering the poll questions. So, we have, what kind of episodes are you most excited for? And we have 2 answers that got 50-50 split up. So,
okay.
People, let me read the options. We have deep dives and analysis, cozy chat episodes, character breakdowns, and spoiler-filled rants or reactions. So the top 2 choices that are split 50-50 were deep dives and analysis and spoiler-filled rants and reactions, which is perfect because that's where we live our lives, in those
that
2
is
sections.
Perfect blend. I love it. Yeah. Oh, amazing. And these polls are over on our Instagram, correct?
They are attached to the episode on Spotify.
Okay. So these polls, if you want to do them, they are on the episode on Spotify.
But we do put different polls up on Instagram every so often.
On our
so
stories.
Keep an eye out for that. And you can follow us at any of these places. On Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, any of those at Booked and Bonded. All right, so if you have any hot takes, reviews, questions, book opinions, any stories that you want to tell us, or if you have the answers to our questions, leave them anywhere, wherever you're watching this at, and let us know. My favorite thing, and I really can't wait until people start answering, is for you guys to put yourself in the Bonded Breakdown questions and really put yourself in the shoes. What would you do? Who would you be talking to? What's your plan? All of that good stuff. Let us know.
Please, we want to see the different points of view. Well, everyone, the end of the episode, the first episode of the new year. I bid you adieu. Thank you for watching Booked and Bonded. I hope your snacks were delicious and your drinks stayed the perfect temperature. Until next time, Bye.
See ya.